Finances ready for 2026. This January, don't just make resolutions, make financial decisions that work. Sunny FM presents Start Right 2026, a powerful financial growth seminar focused on cash flow, multiple streams of income, how to earn, keep, multiply, and sustain your money in 2026. Learn directly from Serwaa Abankwa and Serwaa Abankwa. If you want to stop struggling, invest wisely, and build long-lasting wealth. Start Right 2026 is on Saturday, 31st of January 2026 at the Dan Peters Memorial Hall, Sunny FM, Accra. Time is 9 a.m. prompt. It's only 600 Ghana cedis. To register, call 054-522-3324. That's 0545 223324.
It's gotta start right here. It's gotta start right.
As we step into a brand new year, one question matters most. Are your finances ready for 2026? This January, don't just make resolutions, make financial decisions that work. Sunny FM presents Start Right 2026, a powerful financial growth seminar focused on cash flow, multiple streams of income, how to earn, keep, multiply, and sustain your money in 2026. Learn directly from Serwaa Abankwa and Serwaa Abankwa. If you want to stop struggling, invest wisely, and build long-lasting wealth. Start Right 2026 is on Saturday, 31st of January 2026 at the Dan Peters Memorial Hall, Sunny FM, Accra. Time is 9 a.m. prompt. It's only 600 Ghana cedis. To register, call 054-522-3324. That's 0545 223324.
It's gotta start right here. It's gotta start right.
As we step into a brand new year, one question matters most. Are your finances ready for 2026? This January, don't just make resolutions, make financial decisions that work. Sunny FM presents Start Right 2026, a powerful financial growth seminar focused on cash flow, multiple streams of income, how to earn, keep, multiply, and sustain your money in 2026. Learn directly from Serwaa Abankwa and Serwaa Abankwa. If you want to stop struggling, invest wisely, and build long-lasting wealth. Start Right 2026 is on Saturday, 31st of January 2026 at the Dan Peters Memorial Hall, Sunny FM, Accra. Time is 9 a.m. prompt. It's only 600 Ghana cedis. To register, call 054-522-3324. That's 0545 223324.
It's gotta start right here. It's gotta start right.
The Reset Series.
Yes, if you just joined us, good morning and welcome to the Start Right Reset Series. This month we've been having honest conversations around fresh starts, around having the courage to begin again, and every episode has had its own lessons for us to learn from. And this morning we're joined by the creative director of Seraban, one of Ghana's fashion brands, redefining expression and bold beginnings. Serwaa Abankwa, good morning and thank you for joining us on our Reset Reset series.
Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Ajiman.
You're looking stunning. You know, you should all come on Facebook and YouTube to see how stunning she's looking. I mean, she's all...
Jenny, but
Yeah.
talking about Facebook, I think you're going to catch this much better if you join us on TV, rather, all right? So Facebook, YouTube, but then join us on TV because we're live, all right? If you don't have our app, simply go on Play Store, App Store, download the Sunny TV GH app and catch us. Come and look at this beautiful dress that she's wearing.
I'm imagining myself in every Monday to Friday, every day I look like this. Oh, Ajimai, it will be nice. It will be nice. So take us back to how it all began with Seraban. I mean, this year celebrated 7 years. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And thank you once again for having me. The Reset series has been such a huge blessing to me.
Wow.
I have cried a little bit. And I had my notebook writing a lot of things. And so, Sunny, you're doing a great and amazing job. I grew up in Nima. And yeah, when I say Nima, I'm sure you have a lot of things going through your head right now. But for me, Nima defines resilience for me. Nima is also hard work.
That's right.
My parents were never married, and so I lived with my grandmother for the most part of my life. And my grandma was illiterate. Mommy couldn't read. She couldn't write. She sold fabrics at the Nima market on Wednesdays, and then on Saturdays she sold at the Malata market. And I saw how she used simple strokes, just lines, to determine who owed her and who didn't. All I needed to do was to write the person's name, and with the strokes, she's able to determine all of that. And she maintained that business until she passed at the age of 85.
Wow.
And growing up, I had a lot of negative energy. Looking back, I think it was because I felt different. You know, living with your grandmother, going to school, and then you have most of my classmates had their mother or their father dropping them off in school. And then I go all by myself. I walked on the Kanda Highway. It's now Kanda Highway, but it used to be the Nima Highway. I walked all alone. And so I think that gave me a lot of negative energy. I was getting into a lot of fights. And even on the Kanda Park, when I'm driving, there were some parks where we used to go and fight.
Hey.
You know, they've all become houses now. And in one of the fights, it was really bad. So my grandma was called, and you can imagine, I was so scared. I felt I was going to have the worst beating of my life. But Mami was very wise. She decided to channel that negative energy to good use. And she would say things like, "Oh, ahodia, ye di pesca." You know, you don't fight people with your strength. You make more money with it. So on Saturdays, when we went to the Malata market, she would cut 2 yards fabric, 2 on my shoulders, 2 on my arms, and I went around the market to sell. And I think that was my first exposure to entrepreneurship. And I learned negotiation skills, not in the classroom, on the streets, you know. And one of the other things that I remember perfectly was that some of the values that I have built up to today is because of that experience that Mami gave me, because I noticed that people will not buy your product because they just want to buy. You need to be able to connect with them. And so, for instance, at that young age, I learned how to speak Hausa. So I speak Hausa fluently, yes. I speak Chi because obviously I'm Chi. I speak Ga, Adangbe. I speak a bit of Ewe, you know, just so I can survive. So, for instance, if you go to the market and you see 2 women having a conversation, okay, this is Hausa. I think I'll beat them to it. The moment you speak Hausa, oh, you speak Hausa, you know, that connection is built. And connection also builds trust. And that was how I made sales. You know,
usually, how would you start the conversation? Like you've seen 2 men, one is speaking Hausa, you walk up to them. How, at a young age, how would you start the conversation? Do it in Hausa and then translate in English for us. Yeah.
Okay, so usually I'll be like, oh, ma, kina lafia. You know, oh, Uti Hausa, and then that's how the conversation starts. Oh, ina bida zaninga, na wakike bida, and then, oh, it's too expensive, we go on and on and on. I that was how, I made my sales. And at the end of the day, my grandma would find the susu man, and then she would, how they mark the susu, and then she would mark one for me. So in December, you can have that beautiful dress. You can have any part of the chicken you want. And
favorite part? What was your
if
favorite
I
part?
say it now, people are going to be like, really? You had that opportunity, and these were your part. I like the neck.
Oh.
No, but the neck
no.
is.
I like the.
No, the next people is just it's a lot. A
No,
lot
the
of
neck is
people.
good. I'm
love
in
the
that
neck.
I like my wings, and then I like the feet. Those are my 3 favorite parts. So on Christmas, I get to enjoy all those 3 because, I'm the champ. I have the money and all of that. And I also believe that the market built some of my values. One of the things I knew right from my childhood, and my grandma liked church a lot. So, you go to church and they'll say, write the kind of things you want God to do for you. I knew first of all that I didn't want a life of constant struggle because I saw what happened in the market. People having mothers with babies in the scorching sun. So I knew first of all that I didn't want a life of constant struggle. I knew that one day I want to have a family where there's mommy, there's daddy, and their children, and you can even drop your children to school. So I'm really grateful to my grandmother for, that journey. And she was very particular about school as well. And so throughout, I went to high school and then to university.
Which high school did you go to?
I went to Fantiman Girls.
Oh, lovely.
I read visual arts. My favorite subject was textiles, by the way, because I could see textiles like a fabric and say, oh, this will look good as a skirt. This will look great. But the whole time, I wanted to be a lawyer, to be very honest. And so, although I had that foundation, the whole idea was law, and I always say that when God directs your path, everything leads you exactly to where you need to be.
Exactly.
You understand? Because whilst I was going, I sold fabrics till high school. It was when I got to uni that, I felt like, hey, I have to retire. I'm a big girl now. But throughout, God knew that something was going to happen, and he took me through that journey. So fast forward, I finished university, and at that time when I finished uni, I'd also rededicated my life to Christ. There was a lot of faith, and as usual, when you go to church, they would say, oh, write the things that you want God to do for you. And my plan was, I knew what my plan was. First of all, I'll get a good place to work. I'll make sure I work hard, and then I'll be retained. After retention, I need to get 2 or 3 years experience, and then I'll start law school. And that was the plan. So imagine finishing university, finishing national service, you're waiting for your posting, and then my posting comes, and the first posting is to Coca-Cola. God has been faithful. I'm so excited. Then I got to Coca-Cola, and the queue, the number of people that were there. I joined the queue. It got to my turn. Sorry, madam, you have to go back to be reposted because we have more people than we need. Wow. I'm not a quitter. So I went back, and those who have been through the national service process, you know what it takes to even go through reposting and all of that. So I went to be reposted. The second one, Office of the President. Hey, Charlie. I was
in progress.
Charlie, I was so excited.
Fantastic.
I went there as well. We have more people than we need. So you have to go back to be reposted. The uncertainty, I felt so disappointed. And at that time, a lot of banks had also sprung up. So I did some aptitude tests. I put some CVs around, and I wasn't hearing anything. And that negative energy, at this point, I understood it that I don't like to sit still for a long time. So we had this neighbor, Uncle Joseph. He used to sew. He was like a fashion designer and had gone to fashion school fresh to upgrade himself. And he was going on and on about this is the new wave of fashion. Right now, freehand, you don't have to be doing freehand anymore. You need to draft patterns. You need to have a bodice block. And so that curiosity, I believe, was what led to purpose because I started going to Uncle Joseph from listening to conversations. Serwaa, help me fix this collar. Help me fix this button. This is how it's done. Let's draft this pattern. And so that's when I started making just simple dresses for myself. 6 months down the line, I got the opportunity to work with Dalex Finance. And I count myself blessed because for most of my colleagues, they had to do national service for 1 year. But I did national service for 6 months and I got retained. And I've been in Dalex. Last year was my 15th year. And so when I was praying to God and saying, I need you to give me a job that I'll be retained and all of that, God was planning something, but there's a lot of uncertainty. And when you're going through that process, you're thinking, does God even love me? And today I read this verse that said, when you go through the fire, I'll be with you. When you go through the rivers, it will not drown you. And so he didn't promise that those challenges wouldn't come. They will come, but he will walk you through it straight to your purpose. And I believe that was what God did for me. And Seraban, we're doing amazing. Last year we launched Oba Ahima Bubu.
So what, take your time. You went to Dalex. Can you tell us about when you decided from Uncle Joe's place to say, now I'm going to put this business together?
Okay, let me share that with you.
Exactly. Jenny, you know what she went through for the service period. It may seem to all of us who have gone through tertiary that, some people had it pretty easy. Stayed in big companies, were retained. But then purpose plus, resilience is what I am seeing here. I bring in grandma pushing you on. Because somebody would have settled for, let me just go find something. I don't know the challenges you went through, the suggestions you got from people in trying to find somewhere to do your service alone. And that is something that today, if you're listening to us, maybe you're younger, maybe you are way past service, all right? But then there's something you want to do and rejection seems to be the only thing you're hearing now. Just maybe, God is directing you towards your purpose. Now let's connect the dots, Jenny.
Yeah, when she was talking about national service, going to Coca-Cola, for the first time in my life, I was also posted, I have national service. I sat in a bus from Accra to Kumasi, from Kumasi to Obuasi, because I'd been posted to Ashanti Goldfields. I was happy. You've studied geology. That's like the dream place.
That's
So I didn't see a lot of people there like she did, but I went in, the manager said, we're sorry. We were full like days ago. We can't have you. So Madam, young lady, solo traveler, Obuasi, back to Kumasi to live with her friend. And then I came back to Accra. But actually, I had to go and see the coordinator for the Kumasi office. And that's how I got posted back to Accra to come back to Sunny. So you've actually just brought back some memories for me. I'm sure Ajima would have his own story. But his stories are usually longer. So
for some reasons, Jenny, I landed at Spirit.
You
for service.
Spirit FM, okay.
Yes, for service. So you and I probably we kind of moved along the same, route.
Possibly.
And have stayed in Christian radio till now. Wow. Let's get back to you,
yeah,
Sarah.
So you're with Uncle Joe. You're learning all these things. You're still at Dalex, right?
Yes.
When did you decide that I want to make this formal? I want to make this a business for myself.
Yes. So I started national service, and at that time, like I said, I had rededicated my life to Christ. So on Fridays, I'll go to Bathing Powell all night, and then at 9 o'clock on Saturdays, I'll be at Uncle Joseph. And in that time, that was when 2009, there was this whole talk about wear made in Ghana. So every institution had been tasked that every Friday you need to wear something that is made in Ghana. So on Saturday, that was my agenda. I would go to Uncle Joe, stay with him, and make a nice, it could be a dress, a shirt, a skirt. Consistently, every Friday when I got to Dalex, I would get an order. Who made this skirt? And I'm like, I made it myself. Oh, you're joking. Say, why you didn't make? Okay, the next week make me one. Then I'll say it will cost you this much. And because of that experience in Nima, I would give the order to Uncle Joe. He will charge, and then I'll get my little cut. And so that was how it started. I was making dresses. I was making shirts, even kids' clothes. That was how my journey, and the whole time I saw this gift that God had given me as a means of survival. We all know how much you earn when you're doing national service. So on Friday, if I get that extra money, it will help me to probably pick a taxi instead of trotro that particular Friday.
Little luxury.
The little things. It will help me buy maybe a nice shirt for myself so I look good, or a shoe. That was all there was to it. And anytime I made a piece for someone, they would say, Serwaa, you have something.
Yeah.
Serwaa, you have something. Serwaa, take this thing serious. I wasn't there. The plan was low. So I don't care what anybody is saying.
Don't care, Foko.
No Foko, And like I said, I did visual arts. And then in University of Ghana, I read psychology, sociology. And then you find yourself in a financial institution. Usually, they would advise that you have a bit of finance training.
Background.
So I went to GIMPA. I did certificate in business administration, diploma, and then finally I did my master's in finance from the Coventry University. And it was in that class that something clicked. I looked at my measurements book from 2009 to about 2016. And I was like, look at the clientele I have built. Look at the number of people I have. And people are telling you, use this. And the whole time, why should I think about survival instead of turning this into a proper business? And Daylex was very instrumental because I saw how things were run. You see structure, you know that you need to keep records. And so I had all of that. And then in 2018, I decided to register Seraban as a business. And I remember our first collection. It was Up and About. That was the name of the collection. We made simple everyday pieces, very minimalist, something you can wear to the market, you can wear with your girls, very simple pieces. But something was striking for me. We got photographers, videographers, and then, someone will walk up to you. What's your inspiration for this collection? Do you have a mood board? And I'm thinking, which one is this one again?
It's all that.
Because in your mind, because you have a gift, you believe that you can just get going. But the gift is not enough. Wherever you find yourself, you need to learn about that space. You need to understand the space. Then you can excel. It doesn't take just having the gift. I saw this thing on Instagram where somebody was saying, even in our system now, you need to have just 3% talent, 5% knowledge, and then the rest of the 92 is PR. And you can get there, So as much as possible, like I said, the connection, you need to understand. So I knew that, no, I needed to do something. And 2018, we released the collection, like I said.
Hang on. I mean, Jenny, I want to encourage our listeners to come and watch these collections, which are on right now. I mean, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, or you want to watch us live on TV, these are amazing. I mean, as Sarah is on, please come and check out these beautiful stuff. These beautiful stuff on our screens right now.
So that was how it started. And we're doing so well in 2018. I moved from Uncle Joseph. I got this small store out of the sales we had made. I employed 2 people. And so on Saturdays, I would go to supervise and all of that. And I had my retail. Later on, we got a small store in Kanda. I felt set. 2019, I wake up one morning, I get to the store, and it's empty. My workers were gone. Some of my fabrics were gone.
Empty how? Like they have emptied.
They had left. Like they had left and for those who are in the fashion space, they would attest to the fact, when things are going on so well, sometimes, you just wake up one day and no workers. Wow.
So they had quit the business?
Yes, they had quit without telling me.
You didn't see it coming?
No.
More or less, they had planned to quit.
Yes.
Went away with stuff as well.
A few stuff, yes. And
Departing gifts.
then someone also had made an order in the store, and then they decided to come back because there were a few issues that needed to be fixed. And then I went to meet with a client at the retail place because my girl had gone out. And then she was mentioning an amount. And I knew that that wasn't the price for the outfit. So what it meant was that the retail person was hiking prices without my knowledge.
Yeah.
And that day I remember was June 30th. It was, so when she came, I asked her and she couldn't say anything. So I said, okay, madam, give me my key and leave. So that was a ground zero. Nothing, you know. And just when I was praying to God, and with me, when I'm praying to God, I don't go around, or I sit like how I'm sitting now. And then I put another chair, or sometimes I say, Holy Spirit, we need to have a conversation. You told me that this was a gift. And so if this is not the path for me, just let me know, and then I'll move on to something else. And I heard that voice, that Seraban is a gift that I have given to you. And so you'd have to make good use of it. And I'm saying, everybody is gone. What do I do? Ajeman, just when I was thinking about that, then COVID hit. Then COVID happened.
You know, Sarah, just to come in a little here, were you, this period, how were you managing? Were you talking to friends? How did you personally, emotionally go through this period? I mean, physically, I know you're a prayerful person, but physically, what was your sort of, how did you take it?
I'll bring it back to my experience at Dalex. You know, for every organization, usually during the last quarter, you sit back and you look at progress. What did we do right? What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? Why has everybody left? Why is this? So I had to, you know, and for every entrepreneur or anyone who wants to start a business, that season is very important. I used to do it maybe in December, but it changed my mindset. I began to do that in October. I sat down and I said, no, I need to go back and look at what I've done wrong and then correct it. And I would like to say that for most of us, when we are praying to God about businesses, or the first thing that, oh God, expand my business. I want to go global. I want to. Those things are very important, but trust me, if you do not have the structure, you'd have to start again like Serwaa. And for me, I'm grateful to God that I didn't quit. I had to do a reset. So I had to go and sit in the store. And you know, during COVID, they gave us limited hours.
Exactly.
So I'll take my Dalex laptop to the store in Kanda, and then I stayed there for that period. And it was during that period that I learned so many things that I don't know if I can mention all of that here today. But the whole time when we're making our pieces, we would make the usual size 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. When my clients started coming in, I realized first of all that most of our clients were plus sized. So if you're making the pieces, the plus size pieces need to be more than the small. I also knew, for instance, that they didn't like to show their arms, for instance. They don't like sleeveless pieces. And so that was why they were punishing me, because for some collection, you make sleeveless pieces and nobody even buys one. I got to know that as well.
Wow.
You know, and I also got to know that your stock as a business owner is like your blood. You need to monitor your stock. You need to know which one is leaving, which one is coming in. Even on top of your head, if somebody wakes you and you're sleeping and they ask you, on the average, how much you make as a, you need to be able, you need those things on your fingertips. And I was so busy creating that I forgot all those things. So resetting and coming back to the store made the biggest difference of my life. In the meantime, I looked for a few people on contract to sort out some of our orders until we came back on our feet.
You
And
talk about COVID, but I'm seeing a blessing in the COVID
Yeah.
because it gave you some quietness.
apart
some
from the
peace and
quietness, Ajiman,
reflection.
COVID period, the sales we made, we still haven't been able to break even. Like,
People were calling in COVID.
and buying, yes. We made the best sales in COVID, during COVID. We made the best sales. And that connection with my clients, I'm going back to the Nima connection, that connection. And sometimes, you'd see an outfit and usually you don't see yourself in the thing, we're there in Fatami. Because the brand has had a collection and they've used all these supermodels, and you're thinking, I'm not a supermodel, or how would this fit? You understand? So when I was on the ground, one of the things I realized was, try it on. If you don't like it, you can put it back. And the moment the people wear it, can I try another one? And for me, what gives me fulfillment is when my clients own, there's this kind of confidence when they wear the pieces.
Oh, yes.
That confidence, the moment you wear, you come looking so sad, the confidence. And then when that's me. This is Serwaa.
Imagine when I'm emceeing in Seraban clothing, my confidence is like way up there. I mean, right from when my makeup is done, I put on the album, like, yeah, Jennifer, go kill it.
Which one did you wear for the last MCing gig you did?
So it was a women's conference. It was a women's conference. I think I've forgotten the title of the conference, but it was a women's conference I had. Yes, it was organized by Christine Ampedu. Yes.
There was one you did
Yes.
something in the car and posted. I was like, oh boy, this
It was
is
definitely
just,
Seraban.
this is just
It was
beautiful.
Seraban. It
you
was
know.
Seraban,
Jenny, I'm
definitely.
picking something here.
Yeah.
I think most of us, we simply do not like the quiet times.
Yeah.
It is uncomfortable. Usually, it is not just a quiet time to reset. Usually, something might have happened. We've been hit with something. That, I'm thinking, usually it's God's way of getting us to slow down, to pay attention to the details that we're not looking at. Usually, it's in our faces, but
You
we
don't see
simply
it.
don't see it.
Yes.
And so sometimes I feel we should pray for these times that God really connects with us. It doesn't matter the form it takes, Jenny.
Yeah, and also to live in the moment. I've seen that sometimes when we are struck with issues, we're quickly wanting to move to the next thing. Like you lose your job, we're quickly sending applications. We're not living in the moment. Lord, what do you want to teach me at this time?
Yeah.
And so sometimes we miss these I would say golden moments. And I'm finding that in Serwaa's story. I remember the conference was this Lady Will conference. Because when you go on my Instagram, you see the dress. Serwaa, please continue with the story.
And I must also add that I went to fashion school during COVID. So, all those things, I saw that, no, I need to go to fashion school and understand some of these things. Understand your why. We say that a lot. You need to understand why you're doing this. Why am I doing this business? Is it just about the money? Is it because I want my women to feel confident? Is it because I want it to fulfill me? Once you know your why, even when you want to give up, your why will help you to keep pushing. And when I went to fashion school, I got to understand, okay, this is what inspires most fashion designers. So what is my inspiration? I also got to learn about mood boards. How do you create those things? Even pricing. I realized I was pricing wrong the whole time. Because for me, with my Nima experience, when you sell that small cat,
No kofio.
the no kofio, no, that is it. You forget there's rent, there's water, there's electricity, there's your staff, the fabric. All those things come to play. It's not just about cost price, selling price, I'm done. And all those. So I built that structure. And I believe that is one of the things that has helped us till today. And the Holy Spirit telling me that just be quiet. When I move, you move. When I say stop, you stop. And trust me, some of the pieces that have gone viral, some of the pieces that people still want to buy today were inspired by the Holy Spirit. And so, like Jennifer was saying, that quiet time where you get to search within and create timeless, because the idea is to make pieces that are timeless, pieces that stand the test of time. Seraban is not a fast fashion brand. When I'm making a piece, your child will wear it and be proud. I'm not making something that just comes and goes. No. Even your child would wear it. Your daughter or your son will wear it. My mom wore this in 2025. This is 2030, 2050, whatever. And I am wearing it. Yes. Because even with our fabric selection, we use pieces like our fugu, the northern fugu, sometimes the Kumasi fugu. We're very selective. And all those things come together to make the piece.
So what would you say has been your proudest moments? It's been 7 years, Seraban. You've had some really, I follow you on your page, so I'm seeing some really amazing stuff. But what would you say has been your proudest moment building this brand?
I think it will be the people, the caliber of clientele that we've built over the years. After COVID, I think one of the first people I made a piece for was an ambassador. And we've had so many diplomats wearing the pieces, and I think it gives me so much joy. And also when people wear the piece, the confidence, like I said, you should see someone wear the piece and stand in the mirror, how they turn. To be honest, that is what keeps me going. And I keep on hearing, Serwaa, you have this gift. You have this. Anytime they wear the piece, they talk about the gift. They say I'm special, and for me, that is what gives me joy. That is what keeps me going.
Your dial is on Sunny 88.7 FM. We are with the creative director of Seraban. Ajiba, you have some messages that you want to share?
Yes, a few messages here. Lydia Atido said, wow. Beautiful pieces. Philomena Dankwa, inspirational story.
Yeah.
God bless you. This one says, I'm inspired. There's one thing I love about all your panelists for this series, the God factor, the fellowship with the Holy Spirit. God bless you, ma'am. And then Priscilla said, beautiful pieces. A few more, we'll share them with you as we go. And then I think on WhatsApp, this one says, doing business with the Holy Spirit is like the easiest venture you can ever take. I've learned this the hard way, and truly, life in the whole is easier if you just listen to the Holy Spirit. That's Mami sharing this one.
Hello, Mami. Thanks for joining us. And so let's talk about, for someone listening in this morning, they're feeling stuck. They've started something and looks like it's not getting anywhere. I know how it is now on social media.
There's a hashtag from Mami.
Okay, what's she say?
Serwaa becoming my friend.
So I love
That's
that
the hashtag. Oh, Mami.
I mean, in these days of social media, it's so easy to go on someone's post and say, I'm excited to let you know that I've been, I'm happy to let you know I've done. And so you feel that you're stuck. All the things you're doing are just not taking shape. For someone who's feeling unsure, they know that they need to start something, but they're feeling unsure to start. What will be some encouragement, maybe some practical steps you'd like to share from your experience, from what the Holy Spirit has taken you through for 7 years with Seraban?
Today when I was coming, I asked the Holy Spirit, I said, what would you like me to share with somebody who's probably in Nima, at this moment, and they feel stuck, they feel like I do not have anyone. And January is my birth month, and I've started reading the book of Genesis. I started reading about Abraham, and look at how blessed Abraham was. Then there's Isaac. Today I was reading Genesis 26 about Isaac. I think about it this way. If Abraham was so blessed, why does Isaac get to Gera or Jera, depending on the school you went to? And then he would dig a well and people put mud in it. He dug a second one, Sitna, and the people put mud in it. He dug the third, Rehoboth, And then he said, God has made room for me. And when I was going down, it was after Rehoboth that God began to speak to Isaac. And so I hear this Nigerian thing where they say, no put sansan for my gari.
Yep.
So if somebody puts sansan for inside your gari, are you going to just say, oh, God doesn't like me? Oh, I give up. Are you just going to quit? Remember, Isaac didn't.
He kept digging well.
He kept digging. Isaac was contention. He did Sitna, opposition. And then there's Rehoboth. So for anyone listening to me, wherever you find yourself, I want to encourage you to forge on. They say fake it till you make it. You need to forge on until you get to the point where you say, alas, God has made room for me.
Yeah.
And I remember when we reached out to our resource persons, we asked them to share with us if it's their own quote about Fresh Start based on the experiences and how far the Lord has brought them, or a quote they saw somewhere if they'd like to share with us. I don't know if Serwaa created something or there's one that she's seen from someone she'd like to share with us, but that's how I would like to wrap up our time with Serwaa. If you have some messages, if you have a question for Serwaa before we finally say bye-bye to her and leave her to create some more designs, you can send a WhatsApp to 0540 130-684, 0540-130-684. You know, when she's wrapping up today, we're going to let her share her Instagram handles. I mean, she's really big on Instagram.
Yeah.
Also her Facebook, how you can place an order. You know, let's show Serwaa some love on the IM Drive this morning. I mean, I've been a
The
beneficiary of her
designs
brand.
are, Jenny, just creating
Yeah.
a stare on our comment session
And when she
right
talks
now.
of confidence, I know it.
Oh,
I've
boy.
lived it. With my work as an MC, it's always been Seraban. So I know what you're getting is the best. So, quote. Your quote.
My
with us.
quote is, waiting is not punishment. Waiting is preparation for the great things God has in store for you.
So please take it again.
Waiting is not punishment. Waiting is preparation for the great things God has in store for you.
Preparation for the great things God has in store for you. So I share with us your social media handles, your website, for anyone who's saying, you know what, I'm even looking at her dress right now on the interview. You know, it's really gorgeous. Like to place some orders, yeah.
So on Instagram, we are at Seraban GH.
And how do you spell the Seraban?
Seraban.
So it's S-E, right?
Yes.
Ah,
Seraban.
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 Literally, so it's literally Sarah, all right?
Serwaa
Sarah.
Abankwa.
Ah,
But yes, it's Seraban.
Seraban.
Yes.
Okay.
Seraban GH.
GH.
On Facebook is at Seraban. Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And Naya Edubia Hammond says, Holy Spirit, faithful guide, indeed, God bless you. Isn't that Naya of Success Access? That must be her,
Yes,
because she also
yes.
works closely with the Holy Spirit. So, Ajimai, I'm loving this series. I mean, the God factor, like our listeners sent in, that has been essential. We're hearing about people saying, oh, the Holy Spirit told me, take this path, do
Yeah.
this, and the
Yeah.
obedience has paid off. Araba Benyua is watching, says, I wish you can have time to talk to some of us coming up, because the fashion thing is not easy. Adjuas is so inspirational. Your story is a true reflection of Romans 8:28. The fashion thing is not easy, as she's
It's
saying.
not.
Now, Jenny, do you know
It's
what?
not.
The Holy Spirit just dropped in my heart.
Talk to me, Ajabai. I almost feel like you're assistant preacher right now.
So, Jenny, I feel
Uh-huh.
we may have to put all our Reset series speakers together for a little physical interaction with our listeners. I see a Reset, little hangout or meeting coming up after this series.
Assistant preacher. I'm your assistant preacher.
Strong in my
We'll
heart.
work on it.
Strong in my heart. So maybe a little Reset, hangout, a little Reset, meeting, get together somewhere. It will be great. Araba, okay, so I wish you can
Yeah.
have time to talk to us. This one says, Holy Spirit, faithful guide. Indeed. God bless you, dear. Wow.
Maybe I'll just before we wrap up, for Araba who's saying you can talk about the fashion thing, there's one thing for anyone in the business of fashion, there's one thing you could tell them to start doing from today. One thing. What would that be?
I'll tell them to build structures
Okay.
instead of scaling. Like I said earlier, it's very good to want to make 1,000 pieces and then everybody buys. But without the structure, you'd be in trouble. And I just want to add this quickly. One of the things that motivates me a lot is the Chinese bamboo. It talks about the fact that when you plant it, it stays in the soil 4 years. It is on the 5th year that you see it growing. And when it starts growing, it goes all the way to about 80 feet. What can you do to me at 80 feet? Does it mean that the whole 4 years nothing was happening? No. Something was happening. And so build the structures. Your foundation is very important. Build the structures. Once you've built it and you start shooting up, you can go on that holiday and you'll be fine.
So a holiday never call.
Yes, very important.
Jenny, just before we wrap
Yeah.
up, you remember you and I were talking, I mean, before Serwaa came to the studio, we're talking about how sometimes as you're listening, you have a dream. There's a gift in there. But just sometimes where you are now, the job you're doing, be diligent, because mostly that is how God prepares you. That is how God builds your structure, your trust, your resilience, you know, and all of that, your corporate culture and everything. Some people are somewhere now, the gift is there. You're going to start a business, but they just don't want to be there. They can't wait to get away from there. And so everything and anything they're supposed to learn, they don't even learn it, because the whole thing is, this is where I'm going. But all the wells you're supposed to build, and then people will just drop mud in it. You just have to keep digging. You have to keep digging until you get to your Rehoboth. Yep.
Thank you all for joining us on today's conversation. The episodes are getting better and better tomorrow.
Can I ask a quick question?
Oh, yeah. From our listener, yes.
Are you working with your business full time now, or are you still with Dalex?
No, I'm still with Dalex. Yes, I'm still with Dalex. And I always say that I don't see Dalex and Seraban as two competing things. I see them as complementary seasons of my life. So that is where balance comes in.
Exactly.
Prioritization comes in. There are times where Dalex needs me more. There are days where Seraban needs me more. But to be able to balance it off and ask for help when you need it. Please, you are not superwoman. When you need help, ask for it and delegate. You can't do everything. It's very important.
And I guess, Sarah, maybe you should tell you. So you're not in like the typical 9 to 5, right? At Dalex, are you?
No, it's
at
so
the
we
moment?
work. Yes, we work from home.
So you have a bit of some time
Yes.
for that. So thank you all for joining us on today's series. It continues. I mean, this series is on till 30th, and so you want to keep your diary on Sunny 88.7 FM. So thanks for coming in to share your journey with us. It's stories like yours that remind us that starting again is not failure, it's courage. This has been the Reset series for today. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. My technical guy Eugene, he's on me. It's like you almost hit me from afar. Please, to ensure that doesn't happen to me, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can catch our notifications. Sunny 88.7 FM. If you haven't downloaded our app yet, please. It's a great way to follow us and connect with us. Whether you find yourself in Thailand, in the US, wherever, you can watch and follow Sunny FM. You can watch Sunny TV. Yeah. Ajamai.
In the meantime, we're wrapping up at 10, so there's more music coming up.
As we step into a brand new year, one question matters most. Are your finances ready for 2026? This January, don't just make resolutions. Make financial decisions that work. Sunny FM presents Start Right 2026, a powerful financial growth seminar focused on cash flow, multiple streams of income, how to earn, keep, multiply, and sustain your money in 2026. Learn directly from Kwabena Obengdako and Yawa Hansen Kwao. If you want to stop struggling, invest wisely, and build long-lasting wealth. Start Right 2026 is on Saturday, 31st of January 2026 at the Dan Peters Memorial Hall, Sunny FM, Accra. Time is 9 a.m.